time has finally come for my podcast, and I am so excited. So, welcome to the Standard Podcast for the woman who did not plan to be a disruptor, but life left her with no options. Let me give you a rundown really quickly of what a disruptor is, and then we're going to jump right into our conversation today. So let me just give you a little rundown. A disruptor is a woman who intentionally challenges systems, mindsets, and patterns that keep people, organizations, or cultures stuck, while introducing a new, higher standard of truth, order, or possibility. I'm Pastor Kelly Ogwezi. You can just call me PK. And I'm joined by my very best friend in the whole universe. I know, Rashila, but y'all just call her Rara. Because Rashila, I've never really heard that name before. Where your mama get that from anyway?
Nobody knows.
I've seen people say Rashila.
All the time.
And they call you Rashila.
All the time.
Can I tell them your middle name?
No, man.
Okay, you ready to get going with today's conversation?
Let's do it.
Should I give them the intro? I had a formal introduction for our podcast.
Sure.
Okay, so here's the intro. This podcast is for the woman who refuses to die in dysfunction, the one who's done with performance, tired of perfection, and bold enough to lead even while bleeding. Ooh. Here we talk church hurt, public pressure, private pain, betrayal, identity, boundaries, and becoming. We are raw, real, and unapologetic. What you think, Bessie?
I think it's going to be amazing and awesome.
So let's get right to our first one. You ready? Okay, this is what we're calling today. Pretty, powerful, and pissed off.
Ooh.
Bessie, are you pretty, powerful, and pissed off, or you all right?
I'm not as pissed off than being powerful and pretty.
So you are pissed, but you're just more powerful and pretty.
I think so. In this moment.
So that changes.
Yes.
Do explain.
So I've been in situations where I've been totally pissed off to the highest degree of pistivity. But I'm not there now.
Today.
So tomorrow might be a different story. But as of right now, in this moment, I'm relaxed. I feel powerful and I feel pretty.
You are? Is it because you're with me?
More than likely.
So let's talk about this like for real. First of all, since this is our first one, let's give people a little history about us, because last night we figured out how we actually became friends.
Gotcha.
Okay, because we didn't like each other. I didn't like you.
Well, I don't want to say...
You didn't like me.
I don't want to say didn't like. I think it was a misunderstanding on both our parts. So me looking in on you when you came into a facility that I was already working, and then you became the head nurse for that facility. Myself, I'm just going to speak for myself, felt like you came in with your head held high, your nose in the air, and all of us was like your minions, you know. And so I was like, oh, who's she supposed to be, right?
What did I do to make you feel that way? Did I really do something?
It was just a person. It was just the way you held yourself. And like I said, it could have been just a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Because you was young.
Like 22.
And you were totally younger than all the nurses that was already there. And I think that was the other thing, too, is like, who's this little young girl finna come in and teach? Like, we've been here. We've been in this grind, you know? So I think that was one thing. And then I don't know why you didn't like me at that point.
Because you used to always roll your eyes at me when I was trying to tell you how to do stuff.
But did you learn that I have no control over my facials?
I know now.
Yeah. My facials are...
So we will have...
I do better now, but with my facials.
No.
I think I have improved.
Only a little.
A little.
So we would have meetings, and I'm like, okay, y'all, we would do shift change, because you worked 3 to 11 at that time, and I was 7 to 3.
Right.
And as soon as I would start talking, you would look out the window and roll your eyes, like the whole time I was talking.
Really?
I was like, this lady is so mean.
I literally didn't know.
You used to wear your hair slicked back with that bun on the back. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
But how did we become friends?
So I used to be nauseous with smells all the time. Like, and
So we're both nurses and we're both nurse practitioners for those who don't know that.
and I hated,
But not then, we were nurses then.
hated to do suppositories. Like that was the one
Enemas.
thing.
Well,
And
both.
both.
Oh, we had to do those too, didn't
Yeah,
we?
both. And you didn't like to do intramuscular injections.
Yes.
And so one day we were talking about what we hated.
Yes.
And then you was like, oh, I'll do an enema any day. And I said, I'll do an IM any day. So we started switching up and we been friends since.
See, it's all because I was willing to do enemas for you.
Yeah. I'll be anybody friends who's willing to do enemas for
You
me.
could not stand it. Now, I was excited about it. For those who don't know, y'all know what an enema is. You know, it's when you have to put the thing in there to make people use the bathroom. And we had an order that if we worked in a nursing home, a psychiatric facility overall, but it was a nursing home.
After 3 days, I think it's...
Every 3 days of no BM, you have to do an enema. So that came around pretty frequently for people.
Yeah.
Probably more frequently than the IM injection. So I think I got the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
Because it was just for the IM injections, just like flu season and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, no.
But I did draw the monthly labs, too.
You did. You
I
helped me
would
with
do
that. And then I got good at that, too.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the backdrop. We became friends. It was transactional.
Yeah.
Do you think friendships should be transactional?
I think it should not be the entire makeup of the relationship. But if it starts that way, then I think it's fine.
I do think we, as friends, should both bring something to the table.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And I was started out as enemas and IM injections. Praise the Lord. And here we are, like, what, 22 years later?
Yeah.
So praise the Lord. Now let's get back into our topic for today. This is the thing, right? I do admit, you know, I got a little slight anger problem.
I do admit that I let a lot of stuff build up and then it's over once I hit that breaking point.
Yes.
And my mouth,
Yes, your mouth. It's
Yeah.
worse than mine.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a sword at times.
mine could be. I just try to be a little bit better because of where I am publicly. So when I can't snap out, you know, I just get you to do it.
Right.
But here's the thing. How often do you feel like you've been angry? Have you ever been angry but had to pretend like you were not angry? For me, that's really tough.
Well, with my oldest daughter, with her father, when I was married to him, the one thing that, oh my God, would send me over is when I come home from work on a weekend and his mom would be there and she would have rearranged my entire home. Move one couch to the other side, take dishes I had in this counter, put in another counter. Like, it used to burn me up. And I wouldn't directly say anything to her. I would go with her son and be like, can you tell your mom do not rearrange my house? Oh, she's just doing it just for fun. But it's not fun to me when I try to go in my kitchen and pull out a plate and I
don't know
can't
where
find
it is.
Like, that's not
And she
fun
would
to
do that
me.
every time she came.
Mostly every time she came. It was she had to rearrange something every time she came. And it was so annoying. And it got so bad that I was like, hey, if you don't say something to her, I'm going to say something to her. And, you know, I do not have control of my mouth sometimes.
This is true.
And so he was like, hey, but he laughed and hey, she doesn't like when you do da-da-da-da.
So he didn't take you seriously.
He didn't take it seriously. And that really angered me because I'm seriously pissed off right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go to her house and move anything around. So not even a pillow on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you feel you can take one of my couches and move it across the room and then put a chair in the corner? And I don't get it.
And she didn't think nothing of it. Did she even acknowledge it?
She felt like she had the privilege to do those things.
So what ended up, well, we know ultimately what ended up happening.
Yeah.
But how did you rectify the situation? Like, what did you do with the anger that was building up? How did you handle it?
I flatfoot cussed him out every time.
You cursed him out.
I did.
And so did it finally, like, resolve? Did she stop coming?
She's finally stopped. I guess she couldn't rearrange anything else because she had already rearranged everything in the house. So I guess she just got to the point where she was like, okay, I'm satisfied with where it is.
So what do you think about this label of like the angry black woman? Because I've been called that a time or two.
Well, the angry black woman, because we have so much that we have to deal with. In my opinion, black women do not go through a soft girl era their entire existence like a majority of other women. We hit the ground.
That's true. I know I did.
We hit the ground head first, and we always have to carry everyone else on our shoulders. And I was telling one of my other friends one day, I was like, I sit back and I listen and to other people that I'm friends with that are not black, and they mold their kids into, this is the type of man you need to look for, or this is what you need to do, and this is what you don't need to do. I never had that upbringing of what to expect in a man. I was raised by a man, so I never had that upbringing of, okay, this is what a woman is, should be doing, and this is what a man should be doing. So in my head, I was raised, you need to know how to do this. Just
like my daddy did me.
You need to know how to do all of this. And I never had been in a soft girl era. So I was had my first child at 16.
Right.
So I had to start grunting then.
Yeah.
And that means making sure I finished my education, make sure I kept striving, because I had a child at that point.
Right.
And it was me. And then next thing you know, you come with an adult male who more than likely was never showed how to be a man to a woman. And when you have a woman who was never showed how to be a woman to a man correctly, and a man who was never showed how to be a man to a woman correctly, it's chaos.
This sounds like some trauma bonding.
It's like you trying to be the head person because that's what you was always taught, and then he's trying to be a head.
And so there's a collision.
It's a collision.
Yeah. So do you think sometimes that's misinterpreted as anger?
I think it's misinterpreted as anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, as a quote unquote polished woman, as a professional woman, I don't feel like there's really an outlet. I feel misunderstood by most people. You're probably one of the only people, one of very few people on the planet who actually, I feel like, understands me. I feel like I can call you and tell you anything without you judging me or being critical or being dismissive.
Right.
But I don't think, I was coaching one of my clients yesterday, and we discovered that her gift is listening, right? And so I was like, I basically told her that you can be, as a part of your brand, a listening strategist.
Yes.
I helped her to see that that's actually a gift. And I was telling her that there are many people who need a safe space. She's a counselor by profession, not a mental health therapist, but a counselor. She's a school counselor, but she has her own company, but she wanted to figure out how to grow her brand and expand. And I was telling her, going down through her things, and I was like, okay, you have the gift of listening. Don't minimize that gift, because there are many people who have feelings. Like, for instance, if I feel like I don't have a safe space to express how I feel, or maybe I feel like there's a stigma or not necessarily a need for a mental health therapist, but just a safe space. Because where is that safe space when you're feeling angry or overwhelmed without somebody telling all your business? You understand what I'm saying? Or being dismissive to how you feel, being dismissive to your pain. So I do feel like, for those who are listening, if you have the gift of listening, I do believe there's such a thing now, and probably already has been, but I just see it being more of a need now, where you establish something where people can literally just confide in you. Of course, there's privacy restrictions and non-disclosures and things, but if you don't have an outlet, at some point you're going to explode.
I say that all the time. Like, especially with single mothers, when I see like something that's really outlandish that a mother did, even to a child, I say to myself, does she have an outlet?
Probably
because
not.
A lot of times when you don't have an outlet, it takes over. Your body takes over, and you do crazy
Rage.
stuff. You scream maybe at the kid. You might whoop the kid even harder than you're supposed to. Or you might do something crazy like, I'm done, and you leave the child at home because you don't have that outlet. So I am one of the people who make sure I get an outlet when I think I'm getting to a breaking point where, I need to breathe.
Yeah.
I need a minute to myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, so having an outlet, having someone you could talk to, and then if you have multiple friends, you know which friend you could talk to, this friend, you know, about certain stuff about this, opposed to that friend.
Yeah.
So just know your surroundings, use your people.
You know, anger is actually not a bad thing, right? It's just how you channel it. And one of the things I wanted to back up and say, you know, I grew up in an angry household. You know some about that.
Yes.
My daddy was a fool. Like, I mean, he would just snap. And so we were all raised in that rage and in that anger. Like, so it's almost like we normalize the dysfunctional part of anger.
Yeah.
Not like in a good way to where you can use anger, which is what I try to do now. If I'm really angry about something, I try to use that anger as a fuel to produce something so that I'm channeling my anger in a way that's not detrimental to me or anybody else. But growing up, you know, my daddy we could just be talking and having a good time, and he would just snap.
Yeah.
Just I don't even know. And my whole family was said to be like that, like my dad's dad and his brothers and all that. So there's this stigma like attached to us that we're angry people, very short-tempered people. But like you said, I know that I've come a long way. But one of the things that I do now, which is probably not good, I take a lot before I snap. So then when I finally get fed up, it can be explosive because I feel like I've been patient, and I feel like sometimes like me really trying to endure a situation and then my efforts are not being acknowledged. You can only take so much, and I think that's how people snap.
I think that's how people snap. Because, like, when you backed into a corner and there's, like, nowhere else to go, someone's going to get hurt. And that's how I am. I let a lot of stuff add up. But then once I'm pissed, I'm pissed. And I might talk about your grandmama. I might talk about your mama. Like, at that point, I couldn't care less about who I hurt at that point. Because I feel like you hurt me. So let's do it. Let's go. And I should learn how to, okay, you know what? Just walk away from it. If it's something that you can't fix at that point, just walk away. And
one of the things I've been saying lately is if you can't do nothing about it, you just can't do nothing about it.
You just can't do nothing
And
about
I literally that's how I've been talking myself off of the ledge lately. Like, if I can't do anything about it, then I just cannot do anything about it.
All right.
But let's go to the word really quickly because I wanted to make a point in this. So in Ephesians 4:26, it says, be angry. So you can be angry. Like, that's a natural emotion, but do not sin.
Well, there we go.
So that means the emotion itself, the emotion of anger is permitted, but the expression of it must be stewarded. And that's where we miss it at.
That's where we missed it.
Like, how do I steward it without it being disruptive and detrimental and a weapon? So anger is simply a signal. So anger is a signal. It's a God-given indicator that a boundary has been crossed, because you don't get angry for nothing.
All right.
Like, there's been some type of violation of some sort, at least from your perspective or from the perspective of the person who's angry. Something happened, you crossed me, you disrespected me, be it intentional or unintentional. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But something happens, or a value has been violated, or there's some type of injustice. How, like, sometimes we see something on the news, like the little baby recently who choked on the meatball.
Yeah.
And died.
Heart-wrenching.
And so, you know, we're like, how could that have been prevented? Like, that just happened not so long ago at a daycare. It made national news. And I actually had a client who was at the emergency room that the baby was brought to. So she was just distraught because she works in the emergency room. Yeah. But there's an injustice there, because it's like, regardless of how it happened, it's like, okay, how can we have saved that child? So then there's an anger that stirs up there too. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like, okay, if I'm angry about an injustice, then how do I solve the problem that leads to the anger? You see what I'm saying? So it's not just always how you feel on a personal level, but sometimes the anger points you to purpose. So what are you angry about? What makes you mad outside of, like, people getting on your nerves?
All the cruelty that's going on in the world. The misjustice, especially with our black community, our brown community. When I come across an article or a video showing police brutality, things like that. That really like pisses me off and upset me because it's always a way that could have been handled better.
Yes.
Now, even though we don't know the whole situation,
Right.
but when you see a video starting from the beginning to the end, and you're looking like
And nobody intervened.
nobody intervened, nobody said, "Wait, man, we can do this another way."
Nobody.
I don't understand that.
And how many times have we seen that happen in one way or another?
A lot.
Like nobody steps in and says, hey, let's do this another way.
Right.
So when it comes to anger, the danger is not in feeling the anger, but the danger is in holding it in or using it as a weapon, weaponizing the anger. Because this is what we're talking about. Suppressed anger can turn into bitterness. So then you walk around bitter. So you're beautiful, you're polished, you're professional, but inside you're very, very angry. Like we were talking about a coworker that we were just talking about on yesterday. We used to work with somebody at the nursing home, and this lady was probably one of the most bitter people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
I would say so.
And she had lost a son. And we were talking about it on yesterday. This was years ago, y'all, but she lost a son many years ago. And we feel like, because she talked about that a lot too, and I know that's tough, we understand we don't understand it, but we understand to a degree that will be a hard thing. But she was, it's like she was so mean to everybody.
She was too mean to be mean. Like, that's how mean she was. Like, she was. And when we think about, okay, she had this big challenge in her life that she wasn't able to cope with.
Right.
And so she knew nothing else but to be mean. It's like she didn't want anyone in her space at that point. She didn't trust anyone. It was a trust thing for her.
Right.
And we just couldn't understand at that point, why is she so angry?
She's a slam the
Why
charge.
she's
You
so
remember?
mean? Yeah, she would go out her way to do mean things.
Yeah.
But I think it's because her heart had died when he died. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't care about anything at that point.
And she later passed away from cancer. But I just remember that. So you got bitterness that comes. This is why you have to process anger. Like, you can't just walk around with it bottled up. So you can find ways, like for me, if I'm really frustrated, I can take a walk. I love walking. Or I can get on the Stairmaster, or I can go weight train or something. Just something that I can do to kind of have an outlet. I like to journal to express how I feel. I like to tell God about the situation.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you really can't tell anything about anybody about what you got going on, but you can always take it to the Lord. Yeah, so a lot of times I'll just write the Lord a letter and say, this happened to me and this was not fair, or this hurt my feelings. But I don't want to walk around angry. I don't want to walk around angry or bitter or resentful because of what happened to me. Because if you don't find a way to let it go, you're going to live the rest of your days like that. And then the more you spew venom and poison into the world because you're angry or bitter about a situation, you're trapped there, number one. Like, you're stuck wherever that thing is that happened to you. But then that's also what you're like seeding out into the universe. And that's what you're going to get back, because you reap what you sow. So it's like almost like you really can't afford, because I know there's some angry people out there, and you got every right to be angry, but anger that's not released and stewarded can self-destruct. Like, you end up literally like destroying yourself. And I talk about this because it's a thing. There are a lot of angry people walking around, and instead of just saying, okay, self-reflection and self-awareness, we just project like our coworker did. I don't even know if she was aware of how mean she was. You think she knew?
I'm not sure, because
she never acknowledged it.
She always thought it was the other person.
See.
So she would have conflict with several people at one time. And what I always say is, if you're the common denominator, baby, you the problem.
Yes.
But I don't think she saw it that way.
Like, she got moved to another building. She had problems everywhere she went. If there's a problem everywhere that you are, you're probably the problem.
You're probably the problem.
If everywhere you go, there's a problem, you have no friends, no one to talk to, no one wants to be around you, it's not everybody else.
Yeah. It's time for self-reflection.
Yeah.
When it's that point, when you're the common denominator, it's time for self-reflection.
Yeah, I agree with that. So let me make this point here. So why is it so hard? And I think it's hard to hold it together. Like, if I'm upset, I can't just release it like I want to, because you're expected to be the strong one. And when you're always expected to be the strong one, you carry this burden to always present yourself like you have it together.
So I'm considered a strong one out of the majority of my friends. So the one time that my friends actually saw me cry, it threw them back. They was like, wait, even though the circumstances granted tears and sadness, they was like, hold up, she's crying? Like, they couldn't get that. And in those circumstances, I will cry. When I'm really pissed off and I'm really trying to, I'm about to hurt you, I will cry.
Yes.
At this point. So crying is okay. Release it. It's showing that you are a human.
Yeah.
You know, at that point. I grew up with my dad who, you better not cry if I die type situation. And so that's why I bought up a lot. Because
But we're supposed to be able to cry, give ourselves permission.
I better not cry even if
yeah,
you die.
if you don't stop,
you know, so.
I'm going to give you something to cry about.
That's
so
it.
I've had to learn now to like tell my kids, you can cry, but still go do what I said.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? But I remember the last time I think I saw you crying.
My brother.
Of course then, but that job.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was so bad. I said, just quit. I got you.
I was so pissed. She had me. Oh, my God. I was so pissed at that job. Yeah.
When I saw you crying, I was like, okay, that's it.
That's it.
Because I can count on my hand how many times I've seen you cry in 22 years.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? If that job is stressing you out that bad, just quit because you were really, really stressed out at that time.
I was stressed out.
But again, we're expected to hold it together. So even when we want to cry, which is natural and actually a way to release, we've been taught that makes us look
weak.
There you go. There you go. So we're often, as polished, strong women, beautiful women, strong women, professional women, we are basically taught that if we cry or if we express anger, then we're weak and we're falling apart.
Falling apart. You can't keep it together.
Right. So we have an internal message as a result. And that message is, if I lose it, then everybody else is going to lose it because I'm the glue that holds everybody together. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you're always the strong one, because of course I'm the strong one, and in most of my circles, the strongest one or one of the strongest ones. And it's like, okay, I have to be the one to try to keep my cool.
Yeah.
Because if I don't keep my cool, then it's like, okay, now if Kelly's crying, you know, the one who really believes, if Kelly's crying, then we got a situation. You know, and so I just feel like there's a lot of pressure put on the woman who achieves much, respected, professional, mother, wife, all of that. But at the same time, if we don't have an outlet, a safe space, that's why you need sister circles, that's why you need friends, trusted friends, because we were not designed to internalize emotions. And if you don't have a safe space to talk about how you feel, and if you said, you made a good point, because I know you got some besties who think they're your bestie. But I'm your actual bestie, and they know this. But I love our circle, right? But you said something I wanted to go back to. You were like, but I know who I can call for certain things.
Yes.
Right? But one of the things that I want to point out, I feel like if you're my friend, I should be able to talk to you about anything, and I should be free to express how I feel, and I should be heard.
Right. When I was saying
I don't mean, I know that's not what you were saying, but it made me think about, because if I can't, I know what you mean, but explain it. Go ahead and explain it.
So what I was saying is, hypothetically speaking, you might have a friend who have children, and then you might have a friend who does not have a child.
Right.
I'm not going to call a friend who I don't have a child
because they can't relate.
Let me tell you about what this child did today. Because she's not going to grasp it. She's going to be like, "Girl, you tripping?" Well, you don't know I'm tripping because you don't have a child to understand that. Whereas I might call this friend and she's like, "Girl, don't feel bad because just last week, so did this, that, and the third." So that's what I mean by certain friends I call about certain things. Yeah.
But it made me also think about how sometimes we label people as friends.
That's not
but
really
if I'm having good news and I have to reserve it from you, you're not my friend.
Not my friend.
And if I don't have a safe space to say, this is how this makes me feel, and my friend doesn't care how it makes me feel, then that's something I need to reevaluate. Because then you get to this place where, well, who do I talk to?
Right.
Where is my safe space if the people that I'm calling a friend, you know, I had to disconnect from a family member, a close family member, because every time I would tell her how I was feeling, she dismissed what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm coming to you and I'm telling you that something is going on. I'm not being treated fairly. I have to get out of this. And you laugh it off over and over and over again. You dismiss. And I'm saying, I'm telling you what's going on. I'm telling you how I feel. I'm telling you I can't continue like this. And you just dismiss me.
Instead of saying, I hear what you're saying, although I don't agree with you.
Or I don't see
Let's
the
just
behavior.
set these boundaries.
Yeah. At least acknowledge how I feel. But
Yeah.
if you're coming to me and you're saying I'm being mistreated or I don't have an outlet and I just dismiss you and say, girl, you're going to be all right. That's not a safe space.
It's not a safe space.
And I think another thing can be, okay, you're angry, okay, or you're frustrated, or you're hurt, or you're going through, or hey, there's a lot on you. What do you need me to be to you in this season?
Yeah.
Am I listening? You know, do you want me to? Because one thing about me and you, we've been through a lot of stuff, but we don't try to make each other do anything.
Yeah. Not at all.
Like, okay, you'll sort it out. I'll listen, but I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life, and you don't tell me what to do with my life. And, you know, if I ask you for advice, you'll give it to me. If you ask me for advice, I will give it to you, but I'm not holding you. Some people feel like if they give you advice about a situation, if you don't do what they suggest, it's like disrespect or something. We're all grown.
Yeah, you're not going to hold me ransom to your thoughts.
No, come on, say it again, bestie.
You're not going to hold me ransom to your thoughts.
And I can hear your suggestion and not have to follow your suggestion, but sometimes later, okay, like when we named your... What's the thing?
My animal, my bearded dragon.
What is it called? A bearded dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that.
He should have been here today. But
Oh, God. Okay. Give him the backdrop real quick.
So I've been wanting this bearded dragon for forever and a day.
She likes reptiles, y'all.
So finally my daughter was able to give me a bearded dragon. Yay. But I was talking about his name, so I wanted to name him Hades. So we on this group chat, and everybody's like, Hades, da-da-da-da-da. Hades me here, Hades me, da-da-da-da. And I'm like,
And remember, I wrote, I said, Bestie, you can have hell in your house.
Yeah.
You said, no, I'm not.
No, I'm not. And I was like, okay, so if all of them is coming up with all these scriptures of why I should not name this bearded dragon Hades, let me just change the name. So I come back, okay, y'all, his name is not going to be Hades. I just name him Apollo. Everybody, oh, yeah, we love Apollo.
Yes. So when you first said, you know, I'm going to name him Hades, I said, you're going to have hell in your house. So you wrote back, I am not going to have hell in my house. So then everybody else started chiming in. But if you remember what I wrote, I said, she's grown, let her be.
Let her be.
So hours later, you came back into the chat and said, all right, I'm going to name him Apollo. I said, that's right, bestie. But I didn't like pressure you into doing something that I felt like you should do.
Right.
And I feel like that's the same way when it comes to emotions.
Yeah.
I should be able to tell you how I feel. And if I want to go another route, that's my business.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like you should treat me another way because I don't do exactly what you suggest.
Exactly. He looks more like Apollo anyways.
Yeah, I prefer Apollo over.
Yeah.
Yes. So here we go. If we don't have an outlet to express anger, then our emotions bottleneck. All right? Anger has nowhere to go but inward. And that's dangerous. It leads to exhaustion, withdrawal, and passive aggressive behavior.
Yeah.
And that thing can get you right there. You're angry, but you're not announcing it, but you're doing little slick stuff. And sometimes you can be so slick, you know you're being slick.
Yep. Yep. I'm just not going to do it.
So let's end this with, how do we handle anger in a healthy way?
I think you need to announce that it's anger.
You
first.
better. Come on.
So say, okay, I know I'm angry about you didn't take the trash out last night. Just something
Girl,
simple.
because they sure didn't. They
you know
did
what I'm
not.
saying? I would like for you to, and then discuss what you would like the change to be.
That's good, bestie.
Right? And then if I can assist you in any way, let me know.
I like that. So basically, when I feel that boiling on the inside, I can say, okay, I'm angry. I'm angry. Because I was going to say, name it without shame, because anger is not a sin. It's actually an emotion that God allows us to have.
Okay.
So I love that you said, just acknowledge that you're angry. Okay, I'm angry. Sometimes if I'm angry, if I just get a few minutes to process whatever made me upset,
You ain't angry no more.
you know, it can pass through you.
Yeah.
It really, and so what you find yourself so pissed off about later on, sometimes you don't even remember what it was.
You don't. You really don't.
What was I even mad about?
Yes.
Like, what had me so mad? So, like you said, okay, I'm angry, but don't just say I'm fine. Because, we'll do that too. I'm good. Lying. I'm good. I'm fine.
I got it. Don't
I
worry
got
about
it. Don't. But we being slick then.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. I
Yeah.
got it. Don't worry about it. No, that's actually not
worries.
healthy. No worries. I got it. Don't worry about me. Go on about your. But you know how we can be real extra.
Yeah.
But I can say, you know what? I'm frustrated because.
Right.
And I love how you said, okay, and this is what I would prefer that you do because unvoiced expectations are unmet.
Right.
You can't assume that somebody knows what you need or how you want to be dealt with or how you even expect them to handle how you actually feel.
Yeah.
So I may say, Rashila, I'm upset about something, but you may not know exactly what I want you to do with that information.
Exactly.
So I think we should acknowledge how someone else feels. Like if I say, what you just said really upset me, I think a thing that we can work on is if I say that, then the other person should at least acknowledge what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Not blow me off. So it'll be like, okay, I acknowledge that this upset you. I apologize or I'm sorry that this upset you. What is that you want out of this situation? Instead of, sometimes we'll just be totally dismissive of the statement. I'm angry and the other person doesn't even receive what you're saying. So then there's not a safe space to continue on with how you feel, expressing that. So I'm frustrated because is one thing you can say, or I feel disrespected when you do this. I feel disrespected when your mama, I almost said mammy, when your mama comes over here and rearranges my house. That is disrespectful to me as the woman of this house. And so you shouldn't be letting your mama do that.
At all.
I don't feel like I should have to tell you that, but since I do, let me just tell you, I don't want your mama over here rearranging my stuff because this is my house.
This is my house.
Or, okay, you crossed the line like that. You crossed a boundary for me. So I acknowledge that. Instead of walking around in offense. So this shifts you from being explosive to having clear boundaries.
All right.
So that will help with that frustration that we walk around with, looking put together, but really inwardly dying because we don't have a safe way or a healthy way to say, this is not cool. And one thing about it, we cannot normalize it. It's not okay to walk around angry. It's not healthy. It's not okay. It doesn't serve anybody. So we need a no judgment conversation partner, like I said earlier. You just got to find you one. You ain't got to have a bunch of them. You need somebody you can talk to who's not going to judge you. And if you don't have one, trust that God will send you one.
Exactly.
What you got to add, Bestie?
I just think effective, clear communication sometimes is all you need. Instead of, if you can, hold your tongue.
Yeah, Bestie.
Not snap. And say, again, like you said, this made me feel uncomfortable. Going forward, I would like for you to do it this way. What are your thoughts? Even allow the person to come back with a thought on, oh, well, yeah, they might say, I didn't know that bothered you that way.
That's true.
So it's important to just have some clear communication with the other person.
I just feel a peace. Don't you, Bestie? So you mean I don't have to be snapping out and popping off on people? I can just say, you know what, that really upset me. And give them an opportunity to respond.
Give them an opportunity. Because they probably didn't know it'll upset you.
But we don't have to walk around angry. Okay, let's do this declaration for the strong woman, and we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
I have permission to feel. I have wisdom to express. I will not bottle my emotions until they break me. My voice is valid. My boundaries are holy. And my anger is an instrument for justice, not a weapon of destruction. Well, I think we did good today.
I think so too.
All right. Well, until the next time, we love y'all. Bye.
Bye.